Lesson 4. What can we do to limit the effects of climate change? The key words for this lesson are renewable energy, sustainability, marine protected areas, and resilience. Scientists predict that the effects of climate change will only get worse unless we can limit greenhouse gas emissions and the rate of global warming. To achieve that, the world's countries have agreed to try and limit global warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial temperature. This pre-industrial temperature level refers to the period between 1850 and 1900, which is the earliest time in history we have had global observations of temperature. Even if we were to stop greenhouse gas emissions completely tomorrow, the changes that are already underway will continue, such as sea level rise and warming temperatures, although the risk would be more manageable. Countries are joining efforts to find new ways to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and to live more sustainably. Energy from renewable sources like wind, water, or sunlight can be used as alternatives to fossil fuels. Sri Lanka, for example, is promoting the use of hydropower as an alternative source of electricity. As well as limiting emissions, it is important that we adapt to the current and ongoing changes to make our communities more resilient. This is a great and challenging task, and while governments and industries need to lead the way, every one of us can help by making changes to our own daily lives. We can all begin at home, school, and at work by using energy in smarter ways and being less wasteful. We can choose modes of transport that are more friendly to the environment, for example, by cycling or using public transport to go to school and work, rather than driving our cars. We can also be responsible consumers and think about how and what to buy. For example, it is better to buy local goods produced in a sustainable way. Other ways in which we can support and protect the marine environment from the impacts of climate change is by limiting other human pressures. This will make marine habitats and species more resilient. Marine protected areas, for example, help protect important ocean regions from the negative effects of human use. These protected areas can become safe havens for marine species to thrive in by managing local activities such as fishing or tourism. Sometimes it is possible for activities like fishing to coexist within a marine protected area, which requires the government and scientists to collaborate with the local community to find new ways of fishing that are environmentally friendly and sustainable. Another way to help the resilience of the marine environment is by protecting and restoring mangroves, coral reefs, and seagrasses to preserve their important ecological services, such as their capacity to absorb and store carbon from the atmosphere and to shelter the coast from erosion and storms. Litter cleaning and pollution control in beaches and rivers help increase climate resilience in the marine environment. Much of the litter found on beaches come from cities far away and is carried long distances by ocean currents, winds, and waves. Some even come from further inland and are carried to the coastline by rivers and waterways. Extreme weather like storms and flooding can make this problem of litter pollution much worse. This shows how important it is to protect and conserve our freshwater habitats as well as our oceans and beaches, as they are all connected. Did you know Sri Lanka is the first nation to pledge to preserve and replant all its mangrove forests to help mitigate climate change? Healthy seas and thriving natural coastal habitats are fundamental to the survival and well-being of our societies. We must do all we can to protect them from the effects of climate change and other human impacts, so they can continue to provide us with many vital services and resources. Let's do our part to preserve these precious ecosystems and save them for generations to come.